Hello, everyone. Jeff from RespawnStudios.com back with another episode of Just a Taste. And today we'll be looking at Gears of War 3. Now, I've always enjoyed the Gears of War games, but only for the campaign. I never really liked the multiplayer. I did like Horde mode in Gears of War 2. But I have to say I was actually kind of disappointed with Gears of War 3. When I saw the initial reviews and like how good everyone was saying it was, I was expecting like this awesome wrap up to the story, which I always kind of liked, but I thought the story in this game was like terrible. To me it was a big letdown. And like the way that they tried to like force emotions into it was just totally ridiculous, and it just did not feel genuine at all to me. But a lot of people really love the multiplayer, which is good. It's apparently going to be added to Major League Gaming's new season, which should be interesting. There are some unique modes, such as Capture the Leader, but I don't know. I think it's just because it's a lot of rolling around and shotgunning to me and just using the standard machine gun that, I don't know, I just don't like how the multiplayer plays. It's just boring to me. But as usual for this series, we'll be taking a look at the campaign.
Here, put this on. You'll need it.
So we started this jail sequence in the prologue.
Not anymore. Things have changed. It's your father. He needs you.
My father? But he's gone, Anya. He's dead.
No, he's out there. He needs you.
Anya, wait.
So now you're putting your big ass armor back on your big ass steroid arms.
Anya. Wait.
So that might be like why I didn't like the story so much in this game. Like it was always about over the top things
The locust
and just trying to like make some serious like emotion things with the father and stuff just did not work at all to me.
says he's sorry. He says
Marcus, what in God's name are you doing here? You're
So if anyone somehow doesn't know about Gears of War, as you could probably have told from that little sequence, it's a third-person game, third-person action shooter. It's a war between these COG soldiers and enemies called the Locust, which came up from the core of the planet, which was called Emergence Day, where they started to come up from these holes in the ground, and you've been fighting them every game since. And this is supposed to be the end of the epic trilogy.
Take him out. We gotta give him some time.
Your standard gun is this machine gun, which hopefully you saw in the top right, if you're already aware or not, but the reloading sequence has become pretty famous. It's called an active reload. So you see, hopefully in that top right, when I'm reloading, there's a bar. And if you hit right bumper, which is to start to reload, and then hit it again at the very start of the bar, you get some blinking ammo, which you could probably tell from up there now. And that does extra damage. And that is what you get as a bonus for doing a good active reload. Active because you're influencing it by hitting the button at the correct time to reload faster, so you get some extra damage. The standard gun's also pretty sweet because it has a chainsaw attached to it. So if you're close to enemies, you can hold down B and do the chainsaw attack, which is always fun.
And I still couldn't save my father.
So this is the end of the weird prologue to start the game.
You can't save him.
Because your father's supposed to have been dead, and it just seems all kind of surreal. And then you wake up. So now you're getting the gang back together. Now you see the nice little logo.
I heard you the first
So this base that you're in right now is about to come under attack, and there's going to be some epic battles, and I conveniently cut off this video right as we're getting into one of them. just so you see the big scale that the battles are on in the series, and especially this game. To hopefully make you see if you want to play it or not.
Hey, Phoenix. You looking for Santiago?
If you don't go the way you're supposed to, which is over here, but the opposite way, I think there was a collectible, either a cog tag or a notebook in one of the rooms on the other side of this hallway. So right now it's teaching you about how to see your objectives, what buttons to hold down, etc., etc. Very annoyingly, the credits are on the screen. I guess it's not enough to make you have to not be able to skip it when you beat the game. They have to now have it during gameplay.
Come on, Dom. Armor up.
So the main character who you play as, if you're doing single player, is Marcus Phoenix.
Cope without you.
And that's Dom Santiago. But the good thing is this game does have 4-player co-op. And the other people sometimes play as different characters, but it's usually Anya and then Jace, who you're recruiting right now. You're walking around and meeting them again. Jace is going to be here at this vending machine trying to get old mints or gum out of the machine. And then Anya's going to be upstairs. Oh yeah, Infinity Mints.
Come on, Jace. Work to do. Stock City out there. All right.
And from what I've been saying, you probably don't feel too inclined to play the game, or you just want to play it and see how wrong I am. But I'll get into some of the things I like about this game. I've always loved the series, but I don't know, I just, again, felt this was a sort of letdown. But the Horde mode has been redone a bit. You can now get some different defense mechanisms, and you could like set up a base, which is kind of cool. There's a new sort of Horde mode where it's called Beast mode, and you play as the enemy. You play as the Locust. You could be Tickers or the standard Grub soldiers, etc., etc. So that's pretty unique and fun. And again, there's the multiplayer, which has King of the Hill, Deathmatch, Execution, all of the standard Gears games, plus that Capture the Leader. The campaign is short, which isn't really a bad thing if the game is really good, but
Probably not.
I think
Shock?
I beat it in like 6 to 8 hours, which I guess is kind of standard for the big AAA games. They try and make a short campaign really good
No shit.
instead of having a drawn-out campaign that isn't quite as good. There's some really epic moments, and one cutscene in particular, which if you spoiled the game for yourself, it's on YouTube. And I'm not going to mention it because you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I don't want to spoil it for people. Alright, so now it's telling you about the weapons. You just select them via the D-pad. Your grenades are the top of the D-pad, and your pistol is always down on the D-pad. And then your 2 standard weapons are left or right. So it could be like shotgun and sniper. It could be a lancer and one of the other types of shotguns. Could be the boom shot. All kinds of different weapons. So the lambents play a big part in this game. The enemies that are taken over by the emulsion, and they explode. And there's tons of new types of enemies based on these lambent guys that are the like infected ones. Some of them are like these big epic boss guys too. But all right, we're gonna cut it off there and